Okay, we're going to start off right off the bat asking you for your vote. Come on now. And the reason why, with all due respect, you're going to see some tremendous innovations in this hall today. We think we deserve your vote because we're solving the bigger problem. In fact, we're solving the biggest problem on earth, that's identity fraud. And we're doing it in a way that is so disruptive to the way everybody's been doing it for the past 100 years, this completely broken paradigm. It's a really, really unique product. Normally, when you implement really strong fraud prevention, it collides with the user experience. In our case, it's the perfect marriage. Strong fraud protection, beautiful customer experience. And lastly, this is truly innovative. You've never seen anything like this before. We're actually creating an entirely new industry here. In the next generation of proving identity, we make hacked data useless. It no longer is any good. Why? This is why. I mean, all of our data is already known. Why we're using names, address, date of birth, social security number, make and model of your first car, your cat's name, to prove that you are who you say you are is senseless to me. In the next generation of proving identity, we use things that fraudsters just can't acquire. We use things that you physically own and control, and all of you have in your possession right this second. A government-issued identity document, and every one of you are asking for this in the course of a transaction now. Then we use something else that's nearly impossible for a fraudster to acquire, and that's what you physically are, a biometric. In this case, it's a face, but we can also collect voice and fingerprints as well. You guys are a pretty smart crew here. I think we can all agree that using what you have and what you are is so much stronger than using what you know. So our technology has been trusted by governmental agencies throughout the globe. Customs and Border Patrol agencies throughout the world utilize our forensic technology to analyze government-issued identity documents to make sure that they're real. We do this in 192 countries around the globe, so it's not just here in the United States. And as you can see, we support a really broad cross-selection of documents here. It's not just driver's licenses, it's not just passports, it's virtually every document that's issued by any of these 192 countries. So, I'm going to pretty quickly show you how it works, and this flow works the same whether you're on a phone, a tablet, or the webcam. But at the point in time where a consumer needed to prove that he was who he said he was, we don't make them define much here. Since we do this forensically, there's a lot more pixels in a passport than there are in a driver's license. So that's all we make the consumer define is the size of the document they're getting ready to utilize. So once our API is called, if they were on their phone or their tablet, if they didn't already have an image of their ID loaded on that device, they could use our image capture abilities, which are amazing. Since we don't have much time here, I'm just going to use one that already exists on my computer. We're going to upload my own. With a driver's license, you want to do front and back. With a passport, it's just going to be the data page. What's getting ready to happen here, folks, is a ton of magic. We're going to send those images off to the authentication server. The first thing that has to happen is we need to categorize what kind of document that is. We're going to pretty quickly determine that this is a Georgia driver's license, the iteration that was issued in 2010. Once we've categorized it, we bring up our reference sample from the document library, and we're going to begin a pixel by pixel comparison of this document with the sample in our library. If you look at the back of that document, pretty much everything on there is easy to scan, Photoshop, print, with the exception of that little element that you see right there. That's called a kineogram. It's a separate element, it's a piece of foil. There's 27 different features on this document like that a counterfeiter has to acquire and then manually apply in the construction of a counterfeit ID. When they do that, They're going to get it in the right vicinity here, but they're always a few pixels too high, too low, too far to the left, too far to the right. We're able to detect that. We're going to run 27 different tests to verify the existence of all of those security features, the accuracy of those security features, and the precise placement of all of those security features. Keep in mind that we have pretty slow internet. It's not your fault, JJ. I'm on my own AT&T wireless thing here, so a little slower. But and the images themselves are about 7 megabytes. Typically, you would expect a response time on this at 9.5 seconds time. So pretty quickly, even with my slow internet, we've determined that the document is a real document. But here's what's big, and I alluded to earlier with the customer experience. To type in all of this data from the front of an ID typically takes the consumer 3 minutes and 12 seconds time. Oftentimes they're going to make an error, they're going to make a typo, or they might get the first name in the last name field or vice versa. We've accurately extracted all the data from the document in 9.5 seconds, filled that form for the consumer with no errors and all the data in the right field, thus making this a beautiful customer experience. Really improves conversions. When you save a customer all this typing in 3 minutes time, much more likely they're going to go through with the transaction. So we know the document is real, but we really don't know who the transactor is at the end of the transaction. What we're going to do is I'm going to take a selfie of myself, which we're going to compare to the headshot on the identity document to make sure that we really know who's at the end of the transaction. Oh, I forgot a couple of important points. We've also validated the address. It's a real deliverable USPS address and a full sanction and watch list platform built in. If you needed to make sure this wasn't a terrorist or a money launderer, simply press that button. We query them all worldwide. I can't quite figure out ever how to get my face in this thing, so we'll see. And it's a really poor camera. It works really well on my iPhone. We'll see. By the way, consumers don't see any of this stuff. They never see the results of the authentication. There we go. I knew I had a lousy quality picture there. That would go to manual review. So anytime a document fails examination, we confirm that result. We have a set of document examiners who confirm all the results to make sure that it just wasn't a poor image quality or there wasn't another reason that we labeled that document as counterfeit. In this case, this would also go to manual review, and the document examiners would quickly realize that I really am the person that's depicted on the document. We just had a poor image quality and mark that result up.